So welcome back, everybody, to Going In with Willie and Iz. My name's Iz,
My name is Willie.
and we're gonna pick up right where we left off. We spoke about this is the election. We want to wish everybody. I'm sorry, this is the Thanksgiving week. We want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving out there
Yeah.
to friends and family. Be safe. Be safe out there. But Willie, I mean, hey, we talked about over the weekend. Weekend came to pass. Our boy's not conceding. He's still stuck in the White House bunker, holding down. What do you think?
Yeah, but he got so much heat over the weekend when the bankers started telling him, you know what, we can't go along with this anymore.
Yeah, to get more pushback.
Carl Bernstein said he had this conversation with about 21 Republicans. And he said, so behind the scene, this is what these guys saying, man, he's making us look bad. This guy need to go ahead and concede and give in. So, but they didn't want to come out publicly.
Yeah.
So he said, well, you know what? You won't tell the people who you are, but I'm going to tell them who you are. Because this has to stop. Because the longer this guy not conceding, the more and more things just, I truly think Biden and his administration, because now he got his cabinet, and you know what, he looked like he went back and got so many of the people that he's, you know, like if you go choose a team and you got players out there that you used to working with, what a better way to start, and then incorporate new heads here and there, and you will start coming up with, you know, a team that everybody can work on the same page. So that's what I say. I'm not a big Biden supporter per se, but at least he's putting the right, you know, carry on climate change, because it's a big issue. So they got to address climate change. They're going to have, bro, when I see those little kids still on the southern borders, and today they tell me out of the 666 of them, you know, like only 4 or 5 was like younger than 5 or 6 years of age. So I'm looking at them like, what kind of humanitarian example are you setting for the rest of the world if you're doing stuff like this? So they got to address that. The Democrats got to be stronger going into this, because to me they're kind of pansy. You know, they seem like they walk on eggshell, and they give in to a lot of the things that needs to be addressed, and we need to get past all the things we've been sitting on for 150 or 200 years.
Yeah.
So that's what I started seeing, and now Trump is more or less conceding to a certain degree. He and the little lady, I forgot her name. 1 minute she's saying like, well, I'm gonna do all the transitional, and I do it on my own, and Don said, no, I suggested it. You know, who cares at this point?
The GSA administrator, yeah.
So that's what I was looking at, and I see that things are going to really start heating up pretty much by January the 21st. I see Putin is still throwing out his little lobs and thinking about it. I just can't recognize Biden as a president right now.
It don't matter.
Who cares if you don't recognize?
Yeah, because his puppet, that was his puppet. His puppet's going away. He couldn't do what he needed to do.
Yeah, so this is what I see now. So when I started looking at and especially when the Krispy Kreme donut came out and spoke against him.
Did they?
Chris Christie, you know?
Oh, Chris Christie. I want to say Krispy Kreme donuts. Oh,
yeah, he came out and spoke and saying, well, you know, you my friend, but you know, you gotta cut out this shenanigans. Because these guys are sitting here. 2 or 3 things I'm seeing now in the last week or so. One, you're setting up a presidency that's saying like, you know what, we don't want this democracy anymore. We got another way, and we got a new agenda, because you guys have been just sitting on the same thing for all these years. And then these guys got to start fighting back, because if you let them come in with a new world order on what they think that you need to do, then nothing's going to even be resemblance what we had last year. You know, if they keep going this route. And then you got all your conspirators and everybody else. Well, it's a big old pot. Everybody wants this power. And so, but the people are the ones suffering.
Yeah. And today was for historical content. Today was the first day that the Dow hit 30,000.
Yeah.
So it hit 30,000 for the first time. And what does he do? He comes out. And the reason it hit 30,000, we all know, is because this guy's out the door.
Yeah.
And the Pfizer and all these AstraZeneca and all these other companies are coming out with these this medication for this COVID. So he created this whole mess. So in a sense, he is. But here's the disconnect, Willie. And I just want to get your thoughts on this. How is it that you have people in food lines on Thanksgiving weekend, and the Dow hits the $30,000 mark, $30,000 mark? That's the disconnect between Wall Street and Main Street, like he said during his campaign.
Yeah. And it and the divide has has gotten wider. And now they really don't care because I mean, in all of this mayhem that you and I just finished talking about, swept on the rug is like approaching 300,000 dead people.
Mm-hmm.
Morgues are
2,000
running
today.
over. Yeah,
2,000 people died today.
morgues are running over. Morticians don't want no more business. You
Uh-oh.
know, when have you ever thought you would see a mortician that not want business?
Yeah. How you gonna turn people away? Where they gonna
Yeah,
go? That's
I
horrible.
got to call in for an appointment because I'm gonna be dead next week at 12.
That's
I can't
horrible.
take it, bro. We booked. This is where we're. This is
That's where
actually
we're at.
scary.
It's nuts. Like you say, it's a really this guy doesn't come out. He comes out to pardon a turkey, and I heard Sal said something and said, "Oh, look at a lame duck pardoning a turkey." I thought that was funny. That's
But
what they're
you
gonna do.
can, but you know the handwriting's on the wall when our
Oh yeah,
first lady gone blonde now.
yeah. She's done. She's gonna go. She's ready for her
That's what
Miami. She
happened
won't.
now.
She's going to Miami.
She's,
She's done.
she's the happiest one out of all of them.
I saw her smiling today. I did. She was
Wouldn't
smiling.
you?
She was. Well, yeah.
When
I
you can
guess.
see the finish line.
Hmm. That's
So
true.
like, this was as happy as I've seen her today since she was at George Bush funeral,
Oh
dad's
yeah.
funeral, sitting beside Barack
Sanders
Obama.
Barack. I saw that.
Those are the two happiest moments. This one and that one.
That's
And it's
funny.
just like
That's
she
true
was
though.
at two dead places, but she was coming alive.
Yeah.
So that's what I see. So this guy is, but man, but look what he, but it, you know what though? If the Democrats sit on their ass after you getting all this thrown
Hmm.
in your face,
Yep.
because new ones coming up behind Donald Trump and saying like, you know what? He was so arrogant. This is the reason why he didn't get to accomplish what he was
Yeah.
going to do. And so they think, well, you know what? I'm going to show you how we're going to drop a bomb on you. It's not going to be like Donald. We're just going to be like a nice subtle gas and just take over.
Yeah.
But if the Democrats don't get together and understand this is what they're looking for in the future for everybody,
Yeah.
we either going to be a democracy, or we are going to have this whole chain of command that's not going to benefit the working class people at all.
Yeah. No, it's time for a change. And really these because they're talking about because I know that the Republicans, they always throw Pelosi, they always throw AOC, they always throw Bernie out there because those are the extremes, right? That's the
Yeah.
extreme. So they always throw them out there and talking about the socialists and socialism and all that stuff. But in reality, you have to really look at some of their ideas because their progressive party, that extreme, like the free college and all that stuff. So that stuff is better. It's gonna make society better. You have to look at in the long run what it is. They talk about socialism, but again, we talked about it. Social Security, Medicare, all that stuff is socialist programs. Get over that. You're living. You say you don't want to live in a socialist society. Guess what? Too late.
It's too
But
late.
so
Leave.
so now they're looking at these other things that they want to bring in. Now they have the Affordable Care Act, which is the ACA. But these kids that go to college, why not? That's for our future. You got
Yeah.
China, you got all these other countries that are beating us because they put education
They
first
put
before the
education
dollar.
first. Yeah, before the dollar. And these guys, and you look at them. Someone mentioned it the other day when I was talking about, I forgot it was Dwight Eisenhower or Woodrow Wilson one. I think it
Mhm.
was Woodrow Wilson said like, I like 1952, and he's talking about like, there's always going to be this force talking about, oh, we got to get rid of socialism.
Yeah.
And the question is, so what are you going to do about Social Security? What are you going to do about Medicare? What are
Mhm.
you going to do about all these programs that are put in place to help us become who we are now?
Mhm. Yeah.
If they look at that and saying like, okay, a lot of these things need to be amended. A lot of the programs, they keep talking about infrastructure. They've been talking about infrastructure and just
Since
say
week
no to
one,
drugs.
since week one of Trump, and I think I think it's still infrastructure week.
It
Matter of
and
fact,
it's just, I was like, wow, dude, it's just like just say no to drugs, but every day we got more drugs.
uh-huh.
So you guys keep saying the same thing for years and centuries, but we're still stuck in the same place. So how are
Yeah,
we supposed to get ahead? Or do they want us to be so just concentrated on the things that's really messing us up that we're not really seeing all the works behind us and all the things that's going on that's going to even eliminate us more because they
yeah,
got us in this because they just keep bombarding us with all kind of information till you get information overload.
yeah,
People don't know what to believe.
yeah.
uh,
It comes down to whoever owns the narrative. So
yeah.
I was watching, and I was just scrolling, and I saw the Reagans, and I saw Ronald Reagan. And it's a Showtime show. Um, they talk about how they put him, again, the rich people put him to be the front man, to be the Manchurian candidate, pretty much,
Hmm.
to be out there doing whatever they wanted him to do. So they were looking for somebody who reads lines well. He was an actor, and he played the part. That's really what he did. They even have his own son, and they're interviewing Ron Reagan Jr. talking about, I don't know how my dad, I don't know, I know my dad, I don't know how he became president. All these things that really you look back, and in reality, he was Trump. He's the one that came up with the phrase "Make America Great Again."
Yeah.
So that was Ron Reagan. You probably remember all that time too.
Yeah.
So he's just rehashing, and the politics of divisiveness. Um, Looking back at that era, this is just a repeat of everything that Ronald Reagan did. Trump tried to replicate it, but didn't have the charisma, didn't have the humbleness to
That's the
to
word.
pull it off.
Yeah. He they was thinking he was gonna be able to do it because they were thinking like, wow, he can sell Ronald Reagan's ideas right now, even more so. After the Obama era, anybody that had any kind of charisma or show any indication of any kind of humanity, they will probably be getting elected a second term, even employing all these policies that Trump is
Yeah,
employing right now.
yeah,
I mean, you see how many he got going on with, and this guy's saying everything. So if he had somebody that was charismatic, we wouldn't be having this conversation now. It'd be totally different because
yeah.
he will already be elected by a landslide. What is 73 million people voted for him?
Mhm. Yeah,
That's not a joke. I mean, that's a lot of people.
that's a lot of people. It's not 80 million, but it's a lot.
Yeah, but that's what it took to take out the 73
Yeah,
because, man, that's how radical they are. And
yeah,
so if they don't look at this right now and started saying, you know what, we got to make some changes and put some new laws in this election because 40% of America right now still say this is not a fair election.
yeah.
40%.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so why is 40% saying this? You know,
No,
that's
because they believe. They don't change the channel. They're watching that one channel, state TV, Fox News. They're watching
yeah,
that one channel. So I mean, I watch it. That's how I know. So
yeah,
watch it, and you hear what they're talking about, and they really demonized, and they get in your head about how it was stolen. Oh, they did this and they did that. Meanwhile, if you watch all these other channels, not just Fox, not just CNN or NBC, CBS, all these other ABC, all of them, they believe that mainstream media was what they call it. They label it. Basically,
yeah.
what that means, and it's a smart marketing ploy because what that means is everybody else is against you. We're the only ones that are for you. So what does that tell you? Okay, then I can only listen to you guys because you guys are telling me the right thing, and it's really not the right thing. All these other people, there's no coordinated effort. There is no coordinated effort
No.
to get you to be against you. Why are we going to be against you? Before Trump, they've been saying this for every president going back in my
Forever.
whole
It's
lifetime
not
that
the
I can
first time.
remember.
Yeah.
So, and then they're going to take away your guns. They're going to do all this other stuff that nobody ever does, but they recycle it, and people forget. Oh, they're going to take your guns. And I hear people, saying that, and hey, this is what they said 4 years ago. This is what they said 8 years ago. This was they, and then nothing ever happened. But
And
meanwhile, they're still rehashing it, and they're hyping you up. They're dog whistles and dog whistle phrases. If you guys keep biting at the bit, they're going to keep
they're gonna
using
keep
them, and they're
telling.
going to keep dividing us. You have to realize that a lot of that shit that they talk is bullshit, and
It's
recognize
it's
bullshit.
it's
Recognize the
straight
con.
bullshit. And I want to sometimes I don't want to really get into a. Sometimes I do want to get in a debate with them, but I know it's gonna be just like it's not gonna be just like we having a conversation, just saying like,
Yeah,
well, you know what, I see your viewpoint and I
yeah,
researched that and I don't believe that's not gonna do it. You don't even get a conversation. But I'm saying like when I hear all the rhetoric, I said like, you know what? And if I get it from reputable people that seem like that supposed to be very intellectual and up on this stuff, but when I hear them say stuff like this, I was like, well, I've been listening to you tell me this for the last 5 years. None of this stuff has come true.
yeah.
And
You
why
sure
you
did.
keep yeah, and why you keep telling me that, I'm trying to figure out right now the things that's really happening to me right now. You say, you know what, this is gonna happen. And if I just sit around and wait for it to happen, I'd just be sitting around wasting time and just trying to make it happen when life is going on right now. So
Yeah.
that's why it's just kind of mind boggling. Because I'm thinking, are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing? Are we living in
Not on Fox
a
News.
virtual
Fox,
world?
it's a different world on Fox News. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Just watch it.
and it's common sense. I'm thinking like, but I see all these people. This, I know people that has died from COVID. Like
Mhm.
I don't know who you talking to. I was like,
And
especially
people that parents died, people that parents died, people uncles died, people family members that died. But meanwhile, they're still listening to this Tucker Carlson or whoever's over there spewing all this bull, right?
yeah,
But they're eating it up. They're sitting there like this, looking at it, eating it up. Don't realize. Look outside your TV set.
yeah.
You know,
Step outside.
this president, for the most, he has nothing. He has not for the last week, I think, or 2 weeks. He's had nothing on his plate. He was golfing and partying at Turkey. Two of the things that I know he did. Whatever.
That's all
You're
he
a lame
does.
duck president. That's what you're gonna do, I guess. Then do what you
So
gotta
you
do.
figure you lamed up.
Yeah, and he may pardon himself. That's what they're talking about too. But again, that's another thing. But like you talk about common sense, uh, you just gotta look. Just look what's happening in life. How many?
Yes,
All these people are dying. Look outside. We can't go outside. We have to wear masks because this is an airborne disease. But people still aren't believing it. They're still getting together, like we talked about South Dakota
yeah.
last week about the Sturgis rally, and they were talking about right after Sturgis rally. Where's the corona? Where's the corona? And here it is. Now it's there, but they don't want to believe it because their news is telling them
And I
that's not true.
understand, and I understand the frustration of people when your whole life just come to abrupt halt,
Yeah.
and you saying like, "Nah, I can't do anything. Nah, I just gotta can't go nowhere. I just can't go to a restaurant. If I do, I gotta be home by 9 o'clock."
Mhm.
That's very frustrating, and I understand that. But I also understand this reality that's going on. This is reason. If you didn't know why you couldn't go outside and play, that'll be one thing. But you know why you can't go outside and do all those crazy things and not wear a mask. They asked this Proud Boy today. I was thinking, and you don't want to be saying like these are some stupid motherfuckers right here. You don't really want to say that.
Yeah.
But when they
You can
leave
say,
you no choice, this is like, are you serious? And you actually, it's just like I just robbed the bank, and I'm gonna show everybody on YouTube, on Facebook that I did it.
mhm,
Well, you going to jail. So
yeah,
they asked
they
this
don't care.
guy. They were saying like, uh, so what? Why are you out here protesting? That Trump didn't win the election. Fairly was rigged. It's just his. He said like, she said, well, where do you get your information? Oh, I don't research.
Yeah.
He said,
They
I
don't.
guess
They
I'm.
don't.
He said, I don't research, and I guess I'm just dumb because I'm just set in my stubborn ways, and whatever somebody tell me that I feel like make it feel good to me,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna research it anymore.
They don't. They don't.
And that is like, it's just, and look how many are like that,
Yeah,
and they
it's a
look
lot. Yeah.
and they want that argument, and I just can't give it to them because it's
No,
just
you
like,
can't because they're gonna and you know what they're gonna say. They're gonna There's the same. Their talking points. It's a hoax. Why is it a hoax? Because it came from China. Okay, it came from China. What did the president do? Oh, he did everything he could. He closed the airport. Didn't close the airport because by that time it was coming from Europe. So he didn't
that's
close
what,
it from Europe. There was documented cases coming from Europe, which he didn't close until weeks later for the European people. So all of the talking points are very. And now the election, he stole the election. Stop the steal. That's the new phrase. Stop the steal. you hear about this. Where's the proof? He's gotten thrown out of court 30 some
everywhere.
time, and
Because he
they
don't
were, and we talked about the old girl last week. Remember we talked about old girl last week who was talking about, and they kicked her off the Giuliani team or the Trump
Yeah.
team, and they said they had they pulled so they had her on a presser and with Giuliani and them, and they all spoke, and then she's pushing too many conspiracy claims that they said, oh no, she's doing it on her own. She's not part of our team, but they announced her on their team. When you have Rush Limbaugh saying you can't, that's your girl because you brought her up on TV when your boy Krispy Kreme's talking about the same thing. Where's your evidence?
Yeah.
When all of these people are asking you, where's your evidence? But you still know that you're just trying to float an idea to trick your followers, which is very apparent. And your followers still aren't realizing that they're getting played. That's
Even
the
all
part
of
I
his,
feel bad. That's the part I feel bad for them because really, all these people in the party that support your president or
it's
Trump,
telling you,
you know,
isn't it?
where's the common sense? Again, it's not common. Sense is not common. Some people don't have no sense.
No, it's not common at all because look how many of his boys went to prison.
Yeah.
That's a big old clue. And then
You'd think it would be a clue.
yeah, and then all of a sudden now Christie, because he had to get Ronnie. I'm looking like, dude, out of all the people, you definitely don't need to be eating Ronnie.
Mm-mm.
Underlying condition is like a neon sign with you. You don't need to be doing any of those things.
Yeah.
And now he's sitting up here trying to tell us, boy, bro, you're going to let this go.
Yeah.
You're looking bad.
You're looking bad. He's looking bad, and he is, and he's talking about
You
it's
got to let
gonna
go.
all this money, and they even read. So he's sending out all these. Remember we talked about the emails that he's sending out. He's sending these emails out to a bunch of people, and he's asking, you need to help me, help me fight, help me fight. That's money to go into his pocket. Again,
He
these
needs
people are getting played every which way. They're getting played every which way, and he's telling him what he wants to hear, but they're falling for it. Now you know what? Fool me once, as they say, but fool me
yeah,
twice.
but
That's on you.
twice. And I'm talking about like he has a 4-year running with these guys, and he just like it's almost like okay, but I know he failed this time, but he's gonna come through. Look at him, he's a businessman.
Yep.
He's giving you the business, fool.
Yeah.
You gotta realize this. And but when I hear like people that I'm thinking like, I mean like, dude, what happened to you? Are you serious?
Yeah.
You
Some
trying
people,
to
yeah.
you're really trying to convince me that's what's really going on when I see
Mhm.
it's not, like, and you have no proof. They'll tell
You
me
heard it on TV, and that's the proof.
that's their proof, and they'll get other sound bites. I was like, even if you get information, why don't you just research it a little bit and see if it's true? Get somebody else's opinion.
Yeah.
Typical example. I didn't know who George Soros was. I just kept hearing his name.
Yeah. Same.
He's the one that fund all this stuff. And I was like, who in the hell is he? And then when I finally researched him and found out this guy was saying like, I didn't say any of those things and I didn't do any of those things. And then they would say, you may as well have done it and said it because we want you to be the one that said it and done it. Because that's the way we want. And so, and I can't say that this guy is not lying about he didn't have anything to do with it, but I might as well believe him as believe them.
Yeah. Well, see what you just said is healthy because you know what you say. I don't know. I looked him up. He's a philanthropist. Again, this is what they say. He's a philanthropist. He gives a lot to the Democrats.
Right.
So he's a big target. He's the richest. He's the biggest fish. In other words, he's the biggest fish. Well, they say you're going to go after the biggest fish. So he's the biggest fish right now. So that's why they go after him, and that's why he's financing all these things. They say he's financing Antifa and all this stuff. Again, there's no facts to back it up. There's no facts to back it up. But yet again, there they are talking about, yeah, George Soros is doing it. George Soros is doing this, and Antifa, and the deep state. Who's the deep state?
Today I'm trying to find out where the deep state is.
He's been in for 4 years. Hasn't put nobody to trial. Hasn't put nobody to trial for the deep state. So again, and now these people they're gonna hash this up again in 4 more years or 2 years because there's an election in 2 years.
Yep.
Oh, the deep state. Man, you've been in there for 4 years and you have nobody going to jail. Everybody that's going to jail is your people.
What do you tell me about those what was it Lewis said, not John Lewis, but the senator from South Carolina about using terms and singular terms like deep state and
Oh yeah, yeah.
Stuff like this. And so
Mhm.
that name and that saying will just get planted in your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying like, okay, in the deep state, was this just like the Matrix? You took the red pill or the blue pill, and you just went on off in this rabbit hole. Is that the deep state?
Yeah.
Because I've been hearing about all these forces that's unbeknownst to us and just causing all this havoc. I'm saying, well, if it is, my life has pretty much been the same ever since I got my ass up, started working, need to make a living,
Mhm.
got married. The deep state didn't come in and say, like, you know what, these are the rules we want you to play by in order
Yeah.
to. I don't know who they are because whoever they are not a concern of mine. Because if you ain't catching some of these notes for me, if
Yeah.
you're not like get my granddaughters and wife telling me you ain't nothing and you need to
Yep.
sit down and listen, like if you ain't a part of that positive right there, man, I really don't have time to worry about the deep state,
Yeah.
especially if there's nothing I can do about it. Obviously, it's nothing they can do about it because if they could, they wouldn't be saying, I've
It
been
would have done it.
researching this for 25 years.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like that's a little long time for you to just
Remember all these
research.
remember all these things that he was talking about, how Obama bugged me and this is the greatest crime of all time and everything. Bill Barr said there's nothing there. When you got Bill Barr, your boy, the guy that you put on the
You
team
hired
to
him.
do everything that you wanted to do, doesn't back you up. And there's nothing there. When you put Bill Barr in place to research and look for the deep state and doesn't find anything, there's nothing there. When you got Bill Barr there trying to do stuff, I mean, he got you off of the impeachment because he fabricated or had alternate facts about the
Right.
case. But again, in New York, we talked about this last time. In New York, there's somebody's waiting for January 21st to have come
Yeah.
talk to you. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens on the 21st of January, my friend.
And that's what I see. That's what has transpired from the last time we talked to right now. Now we don't got to the point where we're saying like, bro, you going to go.
No,
We
he's
can't play
probably
with you no more. You're going
no,
to have to go because this cost
he's
it
gonna
to
try to
everybody.
sneak out. He's gonna try to sneak out and go to Russia. That's what I think. I think he's gonna leave the country. That's
It
my
wouldn't
2 cents.
surprise
That's
me.
what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah, you know what? Because this guy cannot accept losing.
No,
He never thought he was going to lose.
but
And
he's been
then
the biggest loser. He's been the biggest loser. You can't get some money from your parents. He grew it into something. I'll take that back. He made something. He made something. He put his name on buildings and stuff. But all these other things that didn't start with his father, like real estate, because all that's real estate.
right.
The meats, the university, the waters, the ties, just basically everything else, the casinos, everything went belly up. United States belly up.
Yeah, everything he
That's
touched.
what happened. That's where we're at.
Just look at it like this. When Donald Trump had the opportunity of receiving like $450 million. Look at him right now. So so during that time and this long run he has,
Mhm.
there was no person like Jeff Bezos. Now he got on. That's somebody you can say like, wow, that mother know how to do business.
Yep.
Like Bill Gates came way after Trump.
Elon Musk just caught to Bill Gates.
Elon Musk just came through. Now he's the richest person. So he hasn't done anything. His cachet has not done anything to
No,
show
because he's
me
not up
he's,
there. He's not up there.
he's not even in that ballpark, man. And that's why he could hang around and just hang around little rappers and stuff
Yeah.
like this, and making those guys think he was a baller and player. Man, this dude is fake.
Yeah. The
And
real
and
ballers that don't want nothing to do with them.
yeah, he couldn't. They didn't want him. He was just like Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
Like he owned a team, but the owners they didn't want him coming around there. Like you in there, but not really us. You just
Yeah.
got in there, and we really just want you not to fuck this up.
Yeah.
And then
Basically.
and they will. And
Yeah.
he had more money than Donald Trump.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
So
Still.
so Donald Trump is
Probably still.
yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And so when I see Donald Trump, I'm saying like, bro, a couple of things you have done, I think, under his administration that really I think is good. It it really readjusts my thinking about our society and how far
Yeah.
I thought we have gained. What I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
wow, we back farther than I even thought we were. I
Yeah.
don't even know we left first base.
No,
That's
yeah,
how,
it's really because if you have like you say, 70 million people that are still see this man for hanging out with pedophiles, well documented. His own words talking about harassing women and sexually assaulting them.
Yeah.
When you have people, when you lead an administration that takes children and puts them in cages, and then what they do, they say that, oh, well, Obama started that. Obama had it for the adults, older people, didn't have the kids, didn't separate the kids. That's a Donald Trump legacy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna build a wall. I'm gonna make you all these promises. I'm gonna do all this stuff. Hillary Clinton's going to jail. All this stuff didn't happen. All these things that he said he was gonna do, didn't do. Played all these people. They're gonna come for your guns. They're doing all this to me. I'm a victim because he plays a victim. If you
All the
watch
time.
him and go back and you look at him in history, one thing I'm excited for is how history is gonna look at this and see
And it's not
um,
gonna take long.
how. Yeah, no, I think they know. I think they got his number ready, but
Yeah.
I think once everything pans out in New York and they go back and look at him and talk about how much this man has lied, that's going to be him. Nixon was the biggest crook, and that's
Yeah.
a hell of a legacy to take. Guess what? He just graduated because now we got a bigger crook.
You know what? Now Nixon looked like he was just doing elementary stuff.
He's a Boy Scout.
Yeah, because this guy, and you know what? But here's what's going to be the worst part for him opposed to Nixon. I mean, several Nixon boys went to prison too.
Yeah.
You know, H.R. Haldeman and those guys. There was some more, but the bodies this guy's going to leave on his watch. He's going to leave so many bodies because all those guys that's in the Senate and in Congress and stuff like that, GOPs that was complicit in all the things he was doing because they were thinking he was going to eventually turn back things in their favor. Those guys are going to get excruciated. That's what I want to say because
I think, maybe
I
not,
hope,
because look at all these people that are out there, man. I mean,
I know,
I want there was one day where I would agree with you and be like, yeah, you know what? I have faith in society, but I
I
can't say
don't.
that today, man. I can't say that today. I can't say that I trust half of the population and a lot of people I know just because some posts on social media and stuff like that, and how you really feel about certain things. It's very telling. It's very telling, and
Yeah,
I'm glad you're right, and I'm glad that this was something that happened because I'm not glad because of all the people that are dying, and God rest their soul,
no,
and I pray for their families during this holiday season. But when it comes to, excuse me, but when it comes to him and his legacy, all these dead people on his watch,
yeah,
that's him. He didn't do anything. He tried to put it on, and even his son-in-law said, "Well, Trump wanted to own the opening up. He wanted to be he wanted to save the day.
yeah. He
He
wanted
wanted
to
all the
save it.
deaths and everything to be on the governors." And then we're from California. There's a move in California that a lot of people are Gavin Newsom is our governor, and a lot of people are against Gavin Newsom because he's trying to do what he can, but he can't. I mean, he can, but he's messing up too. That man, he's going to parties without a mask on. He's
You
an
know what?
idiot. I agree
It,
with he's an idiot, but
yeah,
there's no
because he hating
federal
that
help.
people.
There's no federal help.
Once you started taking that pipe of power,
Hmm.
it goes to your head,
Yep.
and and like so you can't make two good moves and then make one giant one to just set
Yeah.
you all the way back. And people
Oh,
saying like,
they'll magnify it. They'll magnify
yeah,
it.
because you go into a restaurant and you closing down all these restaurants. I
Mhm.
mean, like, so you don't want you to go to a
That's
restaurant?
hypocrite. That's hypocrite. Yeah, and it's politics to its core. It's politics to its core. If you can't get caught, you might do it.
Yeah,
You might do it.
but I'm telling you, that's why you can't trust. I don't trust any of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's
No, you're
not
right. There's no.
like,
What is it? What is the saying? There's a right wing and the left wing
yeah,
are the same bird.
on the same bird. I trust none of them, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I said like just like I'm not a Biden
And you
person.
shouldn't. And you shouldn't. And you
You
shouldn't.
can't. You know why? Because they don't tell the truth, and they haven't told the truth since 1619.
Hmm.
So they not. This is who they are.
Since
It,
1492.
yeah, since
Go
1492.
back.
I think it's 1619, but since
Yeah, but
14,
yeah, I hear you.
they have been lying on everything. Today I'm reading. I said like, wow, this is pretty cool. It's Thanksgiving. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking like, wow, man, so far I'm blessed.
Mhm.
Because but like I say, I don't know what they're saying, but I'm seeing a lot of stuff that's saying like, damn, that could have been me too.
Yeah.
On the bad side.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'm thinking Thanksgiving, and then I said, let me look up. And then I saw this article about all those things they told you in school about Thanksgiving. None of them was true.
Nope.
It's like that just doesn't make. Can't you tell the truth about anything? I
No,
mean,
man.
anything. You know, I was like
It's his story. It's his story.
a story. I'm thinking
His
like
story.
talked about to the day I didn't know every Thanksgiving in Plymouth, Native America. That's the day of mourning,
Yeah.
and they've been doing this since 1970.
Hmm.
This James Wells, he was I forgot the name of the tribe he was in. He spoke at the governor's forum, and they wanted him to speak. And so he started speaking and telling the truth about how that really went down.
Yeah.
They censored him until he died in 2001.
Hmm.
We can't let you talk if you're gonna talk like that. You
Yeah.
gotta say good things about
Yeah.
us. And he's like, he said, we didn't even know that you guys, when we sat down and welcomed you guys, that you at the same time was planning on taking lives and making profit off of them. And
Yeah.
50 years later, we didn't have anything. You took all our freedom.
Yeah. All that gold, all the rocks that they didn't know the value of the rocks, of the gold, that they
Everything.
knew the value of the gold. They traded smallpox blankets and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's
That's such a nasty history that, when it comes to the vaccination, it's like, you know what, bro, you might be good, but you guys don't lie so much about
yeah.
everything. I
Mhm.
trust you not. And that's why I get those conspiracy theories, people get pissed
Yeah.
off at me
Mhm.
because they'll be telling me, I said, like, here's what I have to say to you. If your information came from man, I don't believe a fucking word you say.
That's right.
I do not trust man.
And you should.
Yeah.
You should.
because They,
And they're
they're,
trying, and this vaccine is something that they rushed through.
yeah, man, I don't trust
It,
that.
Operation Warp Speed, and there's three of them. Pick eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Just and
Which one?
see if you
Pick
don't
one.
fall out. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, I'm gonna just try the gloves and give me about 2 million testers, and let me find out the result of that test.
Yeah.
Then we might can talk, but
Yeah.
otherwise, I can't trust them, man. These guys
Oh,
are
man. Everything's
because they're
crazy.
not even. They don't even seem like they even. You never even hear them mention anything about the people that have died in this country.
No, they don't.
They don't
They don't.
even mention this. Like they don't have no condolences. It wasn't for a few of the journalists. Uh, they at the end of their show now
Yeah. They put their
they
names up.
revealed the dead just like they did during the Vietnam
For
War.
Vietnam. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. This is who we
Yeah.
lost today.
So, man, it's Thanksgiving week. It's Thanksgiving week. I'm thankful. Thank you that
Really.
the buffoon is gone, and me, and I'm just appreciated for everything. I appreciate you for all your wisdom. These little conversations I'm thankful for. So appreciate you,
Same here,
man.
brother. Because we all gotta talk. We have to. People gonna have to start actually talking to each other.
Yeah,
Now I
but
get
they
up
won't.
there.
They won't. They won't.
It's just like,
This
but
man's
you,
not conceding. He's not. They're not going to concede.
no. You know
Unfortunately.
what? Maybe 2021 to turn the lights on for us. I hope so, because we should have had a wake up to all this 12 months right here.
Hopefully.
Because this has been a brutal 12 months
Hopefully.
from day one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully, people say, you know what? Let me just put a damn mask on. You
just
got to wear
drive through
clothes.
today.
You got to wear clothes.
Yeah,
Put a mask on your
on your-
face.
you put your seatbelt on. Just do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, brother. So you guys
Cool,
gonna
man.
get ready? I
Another
wish you
week.
a happy Thanksgiving.
Appreciate
All
it.
the
Thank
people out there, stay safe.
you.
Have a
Yes.
happy Thanksgiving, and just keep the peace.
And we'll come back next week, 2 weeks from now. Well, next week. We'll come back next week on a regular Thursday night show. And we'll post it that boy. We won't do what's popping next week because what's popping this week and next week. We want you all to just enjoy yourselves, enjoy your family, and we want you all to stay safe out there.
That's what
Be
I'm
good
thinking.
to each other. Be good to each other. And Fetty.
That's right. Fuck everybody, do you?
Yes, sir.
Peace.
All right, man. Peace out.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
You
Be
too, my
safe.
man. Yes,
All
sir.
right.